I wanted to go back in time a little bit. One of the things that you're really well known for is Whiteboard Fridays. And I'm showing my age a little bit too, because this was quite a while back. So this was how I first found you. And I'm sure you get that all the time. But for anyone who maybe has never heard of Whiteboard Fridays, do some Googling around. It's amazing. Go and check out the earlier episodes, because it's great when Rand's not quite as polished as you are now. But this was, I was going to ask you about that actually. But so Whiteboard Fridays is quite literally Rand, your pretty face in front of a whiteboard, talking through a marketing topic of the week, and you do it really articulately. You're able to nail a bunch of things. It's interesting, it's engaging, and you learn something. And all these videos are about 10 minutes, 15 minutes long. That was, what was the longest one? Maybe 20 was probably
maybe 20.
The longest. Yeah. So talk me through that from your perspective, because I think that was one of the most successful B2B content marketing strategies of all time. So when you started doing Whiteboard Fridays, you already had a following, you already had a successful blog. What made you decide to do videos? What made you decide to do Whiteboard Fridays specifically?
I was very tired at the end of the week of 4 days of blogging. Like it was really hard for me to write. I was writing like long form, SEO content and stuff and trying to help people like Sunday through Wednesday night. And I was like, oh man, the end of the week comes and Thursday I'm just like, oh, I'm so pooped. Hey, can we just like film something? Because that'll only take like 15 minutes or whatever, however long it is. And then we just put that up. That is the innovation. The innovation came from laziness and just being tired. And yeah, I think it did not initially resonate for the first, I want to say it was about 3 or 4 years that we were producing Whiteboard Fridays every week. They underperformed every other blog post on Moz's website significantly. And the only reason we stuck with them is because I was tired. Like I didn't want to have to do the work. And so, we used Whiteboard Friday as a like cheat for Rand to get a blog post up on Friday that didn't require him to sort of specifically blog. So they underperformed all the other posts on the site until about 4 years in. And then they started performing at that same level on average. And then they, over time, overtook it. And I think the lesson that I take away from that today is not, me in front of a whiteboard is so great. Like if you watch the old episodes, they're not, you say I'm polished and articulate. Compared to the average YouTuber with 100,000 plus subscribers, I am not polished. I am not engaging or entertaining in the same way that those types of folks are. Even on, what I call like boring business topics, there are folks who are far more engaging today. But it was early. It was so early, and there's nobody doing this in B2B. To your point around like it being a great channel opportunity, video was not that popular. People did not watch video on their phones. Like this was not the device that we saw people using to watch Whiteboard Fridays. It was all desktop, like 95% plus until probably even 2013. It was all desktop, which is insane to imagine today. Like, oh, hey, there's a video. I'm going to wait and watch it on my computer at home, or at the office. That's unfathomable. Like everybody's watching them on the subway right now. The other thing I think that is the big takeaway for me from the format is that it was a unique format. It was a memorable thing. It's one of the only times I've ever done good branding. Like Whiteboard Friday, it's memorable. It tells you what the thing is. It tells you when to watch it. You immediately are like, Whiteboard Friday, that sounds like a series. Tell me, like, what's it about and where is it? It just works, right? Like the branding of it works. And SEOs historically are terrible at branding. Absolutely terrible. It's like the part of their brain that, could focus on like catchy advertising slogans went right out the window once they looked at keyword research the first time. And I'm no different. I called my company SEO Moz, but it was all one word and you couldn't, like, no one could say it. People would call us on the phone and be like, yeah, is this Shao Moss? We're like, yep, that's us. Me, Rand from Shao Moss. Like a million different things. So I've gotten better at that stuff, learned a lot more about branding, but Whiteboard Friday was just, it hit in a bunch of ways. Now I've been doing, for the last 3 or 4 years, I've been doing these 5-minute whiteboards. What's interesting about them, Ryan, I think they could be equally or similarly successful, but one of the problems is that people don't consume video content in other people's blogs the way they used to. You go to YouTube, you go to TikTok, you go to Reddit, even LinkedIn. And I actually think 5 minutes is too long. The attention span is not there. When my most successful videos by far are now sub 3 minutes. And yeah, those are on, I put those mostly on LinkedIn, also Twitter and Threads and Blue Sky. And they perform even bigger in terms of number of people who watch them than the Whiteboard Fridays at Moz. It's just that the consistency and the branding aren't quite as sticky. And I think a lot of the people who see me still associate that with like Whiteboard Friday. They don't have a name. The new name hasn't like caught up. Yeah.
How long did it take you to make an episode of Whiteboard Friday? And how long does it take you to make the 5-minute Friday videos now? Is there a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, or is it just, you and a camera? Like what's actually the workload required?
Yeah. Once Moz raised venture and like had some money, we had a videographer who took care of almost all of the behind the scenes stuff. And so for me, it was, I think my assistant, I used to have an assistant. My assistant would block 1 hour for me to basically write the content, put it up on the whiteboard, film the video, make there was like those hero shots, interesting hero shots. So that was pretty usual. If we had to film 3 or 4 in a row, which happened quite a bit because I had a lot of conference travel, I could get it down to 30 minutes per episode. So it was pretty darn fast. One thing you'll notice is that, like I said, it's not that polished because I didn't have a transcript. I am speaking as I'm speaking to you now off the cuff. There was not the planning of, hey, here's what I'm going to say, and here's a transcript, and I'm going to look at the camera and read off, something below that. I didn't do that. We didn't find that format as engaging. Nowadays, the 5-minute whiteboards that I put on SparkToro, or the ones that you see on LinkedIn or Twitter or Reddit, wherever, those videos take me between 30 and 45 minutes to film. I no longer have an assistant. I no longer have a videographer. So it's very bare bones. SparkToro, we're all remote and home office. And so even if I guess we could afford a videographer, but it'd be awkward to I don't know, hey, Geraldine, someone's coming over for, we're not gonna do that.
Are they scripted now, or is it still you talking off the cuff?
I would say they're more scripted in that I know exactly what I'm going to say in those 3 or 4 minutes, right? I've only one point that I really want to get across, maybe 2. And so I know I have to deliver that. And I will say it takes me usually 2 or 3 takes now, whereas Whiteboard Friday, almost every episode was filmed in 1 take.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You're good, buddy. That's I've never been able to do anything
I had
in 1 take.
practice. I just had so much practice.
Was it practice from doing Whiteboard Fridays? Did you have a coach? Like did you get someone to kind of help you with expressing verbally a little bit better? Like how did you talk me through that?
I did at one point, gosh, what year was that? Maybe 2010 or 11. I hired a sort of speech and stylistic coach who worked with me. Maybe we did like 6 or 7 sessions together where they worked with me specifically on disfluencies. You will notice that I was always very conscientious of and self-conscious about uhs and ums and buts and restarting sentences. Apparently it's considered very presidential now to not speak in sensible sentences. But at the time, I was very too. I'm still trying to work out of my disfluencies in my vocabulary. And that did help me, I think, a considerable amount. But practice, it was just the repetition, so many times. And I filmed more videos than just the Whiteboard Fridays. There were internal videos and there were videos I did for product stuff. But now I have 20 years of experience talking to a camera in a room. So that helps a lot.
The muscle memory kicks in.
Yeah, it kicks in.
Final question on this. How did you come up with all the ideas for Whiteboard Fridays? If it's just you talking off the cuff all the time, did you at least have like a big list of ideas? Hey, I should talk about this. I should talk about this. What did that look like for you?
I would say that most of the time, probably 80-90% of the time, I had emailed our videographer ahead of time and said, hey, this topic is feeling hot to me right now in the SEO world. Because I was on all the blogs and forums and Moz's own comments and people replying to my emails, and something would hit, right? Something would come up. I'd be at a conference, someone would say something, I'd go, we need to make a video about that. That's actually still how I do all the 5-minute whiteboards. I'll tell you today, after this, I'm planning to film one about the Met Gala. Yep. Because I found some really interesting stuff about the Met Gala, and it sort of ties in with channel and audience stuff. People are talking about the outfits that were worn. There's like some wild things, and I wanted to specifically bring up how, even though the fashion that you see at those events feels completely disconnected from what any human being would wear day to day, it is the outrageousness of it that makes it stand out. And it's part of how they grab attention and get people to pay attention to the brand, and then get people talking about that brand, which then means that when you walk into Nordstrom or Saks Fifth Avenue or whatever, you're like, oh yeah, Tom Brown. I have an association with who that is. I may not even remember why I know who that is or why that label resonates with me or whatever, but it doesn't matter, right? The Met Gala is like this opportunity to do organic branding through product, right? Similar to how, TechCrunch Disrupt helped startups get in front of venture capitalists, or being on the top of Hacker News helps you get in front of the tech community, or being on top of Reddit in your particular subreddit helps you get in front of, gardeners, whatever it is. And that, I think that when people have that weird thing of like, why are they doing such crazy shit that would never work and no one would ever wear? That's why.
Hey, it's Ryan here. If you liked that video, please click the like and subscribe button somewhere down there and check out the full interview right over here. Go on, click it. You know you want to.